Velocity TV begins now.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for the wildest thrill ride of your life. So grab a snack and sit back because we're about to throw it down.
We've got the best three-wide action door-to-door racing on the turn number 4 you'll find on iRacing, right here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We are about to crown tonight's champion, and it's time to let her dig.
We're restacked and repacked up for turn number 4. Who's it gonna be?
And good evening, race fans. So welcome in to what we call your source for esports and racing here live with Speed51.com and available all tonight on all the platforms of the Full Velocity Racing Network. We welcome you in live to the South Boston Speedway, the EastWest Promotions 100 for the SidsView.com Modified Series. It's great to have you aboard here tonight, everybody. Phil Lacasse is here, Jeff McConey's alongside, and Jack Choate, as always, doing the controls for us here on a Thursday night, and a great field of cars. And this week, Jeff, we find ourselves at this awesome South Boston Speedway, a great car count on hand, 27 drivers ready to go big stuff for 150 laps. I ain't itching to get started. How about yourself?
Oh, I just cannot wait. This track is difficult. It's shorter than it looks. I mean, it looks small, but when you're out there, man, it feels like you are always turning that wheel to the left. It's a very difficult track. It's 2/5 of a mile, 0.4 miles. You'll really get around here quickly, though. We're going to see a lot of glowing brake rotors as these guys work their way around this track. I cannot wait for this run tonight. And there's a lot of big names in this field, but there's one big name that's missing.
This is the points leader, Ty Majeski, not with us here this week. We'll talk a lot about that. But before we go racing tonight, let's go trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
right, gotta say thank you first of all to our buddy Charlie Milner, Milner Media Designs. He put that video montage of the national anthem, and of course the guys at 30 Grassol for the playing of our, what was he called, the greatest nation in the country.
The
Here we
anthem
go.
of the greatest nation in the country, the
Thank you.
United States of America.
Thank you. We had to make sure we got that one in. Jeff McConey, of course, giving us the insight and the brilliance he always does on a Thursday night. And Jeff, we got a great field on hand. I believe 27 strong. Let's take a look tonight at our 3D Racing starting lineup.
Starting on the pole is the 6-car Joe Schaefer Jr., a 13,795 for that machine. What a fantastic run. Keith Jeffrey, though, always strong, always in contention at the end, will start in second. Rosemary Townsend starts in third, Ryan Blanchard in fourth, Brandon Wilkinson starts fifth. All-time winningest driver here in the East-West Modifieds, Dave Bodio, will start in sixth. Steven Rogers starts seventh, PJ Sturgios in eighth. Richard Allen starts ninth, and Teddy Hodgson, SK Light defending champion at Stafford Motor Speedway, rounds out the top 10.
11th starter will be Gary Holbricks, number 71, with Junior Harville alongside with the number 41 car. Brad Carpenter will start 13th in car 31 with Christopher Hyatt to his outside with car number 12. Tyler Chadwick in the 09. He'll start the inside of position 15 with the 019 of Andrew McKenzie alongside of him. Matt Everhart, Derek Trowbridge, Glenn Pressel III, and Jay Perkins will round out our top 20.
Brian Narducci was supposed to take the grid here, but it looks like he is headed out. He was going to start, he was supposed to start 24th. Starting 21st is Chris Franz, 22nd, Kyle O'Danick, 23rd, James DuPont, 24th was supposed to be Brian Narducci, 25th is Jonathan Pulio, Zach Murphy starts 26th. Rounding out the 27-car field, though, is Kenneth Boehm in the 068.
It's a good field of cars right there. Call it 26. For 150 laps around the East-West Promotions Modified Series. It's, of course, sponsored this season by our friend Sid DiMaggio. Sid's View from the Vault over on YouTube, sidsview.com. Vault Productions here on Facebook. We hope he is out there watching tonight, as we are going to have a great time from the South Boston Speedways. The Cars of the Stars are all doubled up, ready to unload. Joe Schaefer Jr., Keith Jeffrey, tonight's front row on a field tonight, I believe, that is going to be wide open for a checkered flag. As a green flag goes up in the air, let's go to it. 150 laps around. We're down in turn one.
Joe Schaefer Jr. with a great jump right at the start. He's already got half a straightaway over Keith Jeffrey, but that's really not saying too much here at South Boston. Man, this is a very small track. These guys are already on lap 2, turning in a lap at about 14 seconds on average here. This race may be 150 laps, but it's going to fly right by.
Certainly will, as they exit turn number 4 already. Going to put lap number 2 to complete. Let's start lap 3. Joe Schaefer Jr., a guy that has been so close so many times this season. He has finished up runner-up to his teammate Ty Majeski at least 2 or 3 times. Is tonight the night Joe Schaefer Jr. cracks the ticket in the victory lane? We'll have to wait and see, as we had a long race ahead here. Keith Jeffrey in for the second spot. Brandon Wilkinson, Ryan Blanchard, now Dave Bodio. That is a star-studded top 5. All those a tail over in 3.
Well, I don't know if he's going to win this race because, I mean, he's still got 150 laps in it. But I do think he is going to beat Ty Majeski. That's my bold prediction of the night. Joe Schaefer Jr. tonight will beat Ty Majeski in this race.
Ty happens to come in tonight as our series points leader as well. 13 points over Keith Jeffrey, so you definitely know that the points lead will change hands again here tonight. I believe Ty could probably spare a week in this race car. He's been laying waste to him here, a 5-time winner this season already. You can believe it, for the first 9 races, he's been setting a torrid pace. But you look up front, Joe Schaefer Jr., almost 1 full second between himself and Keith Jeffrey. Wilkinson running in the 3rd spot. Well, already the top 2 have broken away. Joe Schaefer Jr. is number 6 car, last time by Jeff. 0.95, so he's got a full second already in less than 10 laps.
That he is. That's absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, they are really starting to pull away from the rest of the field. You see a couple drivers back here that are trying to work their way up, but there's really just no room at the end. There's just so many cars all clustered together. Now a caution is out. Let's see who it was.
First yellow flag of the night. We call them Team Har Motorsports yellow flag number 1 here. First one of the evening. We'll set the stage for our first Full Velocity Racing Network instant replay of the evening, which we always brought to you by our friends at Jonathan's Journeys, jmaxstrong.com. Who did we find involved in our first yellow of the night?
I believe it was Brad Carpenter was involved. He's a little ways back, but the 99 and Glenn Pressel as well.
19 of Andrew McKenzie, I think, also got a piece of that one. There it is. See it on the stream right there. 099, Andrew McKenzie getting a little bit hot into the back end of the 99 of Glenn Pressel III. Glenn goes for a little spin cycle. Yellow flag for the first time tonight. It's going to happen really quick here at South Boston. There's not a whole lot of room to get off these corners, door to door. It narrows up really quickly off the exit. That's an old-fashioned short track racing right here at South Boston.
You are absolutely right. Our producer is asking, do they have doors? Yes, they absolutely do. They don't open, but they don't open on any race car either.
I would hope not. Imagine if you're in a race car and your door actually could open. You've seen the window net fall out. I don't mean come loose. I mean fell completely out.
So there was actually a second wreck there that was simultaneous, and it actually worked out really well for Brad Carpenter. He spun around all alone on the bottom there, a selfie, but I don't think that brought out the caution, but there was a caution right after that happened, and that was the one we were talking about.
Can't pull the selfie stick out yet. Way too early for that. Maybe Brad wanted one, but not this time, Brad. Try it again. We'll pull the selfie stick out for sure as we work under a yellow flag. 13 laps of 150 on the board as we get ready to go back to green. Joe Schaefer Jr., Keith Jeffrey, Brandon Wilkinson, Ryan Blanchard, Dave Bodia. That's the way they roll. The top five as a green flag returns to the speedway.
Another great jump for that 6-car, Joe Schaefer Jr. Keith Jeffrey stuck up on the outside. Brandon Wilkinson now down there on the bottom looking low. Let's see if the 88 can fight him off. That high line can work up here at South Boston, and it will. Keith Jeffrey clear. He's in the second now. We are 10% of the way through this race. Ryan Blanchard now falls back in line into fourth, behind Brandon Wilkinson in third, but he's got a mirrorful, a Dave Bodio, who is trying to work his way up to the field.
Pulled 10% out on lap 15, you absolute softy. I tell you what, you get a number out there, you actually got to think about it. It's a shame to you, Purdue boy.
I don't need to think about any numbers because I'm a Purdue boy. What, do you think I went to IU or something?
If you were IU, you'd probably be a lot smarter than you are now, but we'll leave that for all day. I always got to side with Jack. I have to because I know what's better for me every night. I'll tell you what. But we had a race for second going on. Wilkinson's 56 Cardinal alongside of Keith Jeffrey out of 3 and 4. Keith's got to run up high, but Brandon is down there looking for running room. The fallback nose to tail. Now it's going to be Blanchard with a 9 car. He'll look high on Wilkinson over in 3.
You are absolutely right there that Brandon Wilkinson was to the inside, but he's already fallen back about 2 or 3 car lengths. All Keith Jeffrey has to do is hold that outside line, and he gets a phenomenal run off the corner. He's got a car tonight that can roll the outside and defend positions, and just as important as passing other cars is not getting past yourself. If you get a challenge for position and you can just move up a lane and rocket by him, yeah, that's a great weapon to have in your arsenal.
Really is. I'm watching a good little battle going on back here. Was for 5th and 6th for a lap or so. I was watching on the Steve Rogers 89 car. He had a run on Dave Bodio. That was running up for the fifth spot. 89 lost a little hiccup there off the corner. Now he is going to fall victim to the 55 car of Teddy Hodgson. He looks to the inside out of 4, but slow that one down again because the yellow flag is back on the speedway.
Looks like the 33 of James DuPont has blown his motor. I would assume that he was a part of that wreck then as a result of it.
We'll go back and take a look-see and see. There's definitely some smoke. It looked like we're picking a new pope out there in the 33 as that car goes up in a heap of smoke, and I believe that's kind of the only thing I've seen. I think that's what I...
Right there, it looks like the 58 bounced off the wall, and yeah, right into the 160. 58 off the wall into the 160. James DuPont runs into the back of the 58. 73 runs into the 33. Jason Perkins involved as well. He goes around trying to avoid it. A lot of cars wrapped up in that wreck, so not a good sight at all. Looks like Rosemary Townsend decides to tow it. That engine is blown, I think.
Could be engine in trouble. James DuPont had a lot of damage. Looked like some not so good white, maybe a little bit of black smoke coming out the 33 car as well. So 2 cars having trouble here early on. 24 laps in now of lap 150. Good time to give a shout out to our buddy, Mr. DiMaggio over at Sid's You for the Vault. Check them out now. A little blurb he sent us over.
Sit. I'm watching, buddy. Keep an eye on me.
I got to thank you to Mr. DiMaggio there. SidsView.com is a home-based website. Sid's View for the Vault on YouTube, Vault Productions on Facebook. Thank him so much for what he does. And looking forward to getting out to some of these short tracks, hopefully the northeast part of the country really soon. And SidsView.com come back to life. But getting ready for a restart now. 26 laps of 150 on the board. It's right where we left it off. Schaefer, Keith Jeffrey, Wilkinson, Ryan Blanchard, and Dave Bodio, our top 5, as we'll go Sheffield Graphics on board for the restart.
Well, you can see there on the onboard that Dave Bodio didn't really get a start. That was that great. That allowed the 9 car to slide right in line. That is Ryan Blanchard, who's now in front. Keith Jeffrey as well, stuck up on the outside. Now Brandon Wilkinson is rolling the inside line.
That shows you how hard it is with a double file restart here, as Keith got stuck in the high lane, and that's going to open the door for the 56 car to open that inside lane up. And let's see if Brandon can't complete that pass for second. Keith's got a really good car. The outside really rolling good for the 88 car, that Jim Beaver Esports team. It's a battle of them versus the posse. 2 of the best right there, Brandon and Keith. They're door-to-door over in 3.
That's been the story all this season. The posse versus the world, it seems, but especially Jim Beaver Esports. Man, Jim Beaver is the defending champion. It is the most wins in history for this series, but the posse has really taken iRacing by storm and the series by storm. But the caution flag is out. Let's see who it was. Maybe Jonathan Booth, perhaps?
Junior Harville, number 41, got a piece of this one. I also think Tyler Chadwick may have been over there as well. And Harry Holbrook, I think 71, may have got a piece of this as well. So a little 3-car tango over in turn number 3. That's going to be our 3rd yellow flag of the evening. That means it's time for a quick little pause here under the yellow. 32 laps in. Thanks for watching us here live tonight with Speed51.com, produced by the Full Velocity. All right, looks like the lights are out around the 4/10 mile, South Boston Speedway, 35 laps in of 150. That makes up tonight's EastWest Promotions 150-lap race. The South Boston Speedway, SidsView.com modified series. We look back up front. Well, it's kind of right where we left it there with Joe Schaefer Jr. now leading Brandon Wilkinson, Keith Jeffrey, Ryan Blanchard, and Dave Bodio. They flip a little bit in the top 5, but we get the green flag back in the air. Let's get back to it.
Green flag in the air after a single file restart now. Brandon Wilkinson sits in second. Keith Jeffrey is now fallen back to third, and he's got a mirror full of Ryan Blanchard right on that back bumper. He doesn't want to give up any more positions, but he's also got some help behind him. That's Dave Bodio in the 16. He's hoping that Dave can get up to that 9 car, but Ryan Blanchard maybe bully him a little bit, get him out of the way, and at least get some of this pressure off of the back bumper, Keith Jeffrey.
Got that right, but Keith trying to run his way down back to the top 2 spots where Joe Schaefer is leading Brandon Wilkinson by 0.4 of a second off of turn number 3 and 4. Let's flash on by, complete lap number 38 of 150 on the board, and I am really impressed by the speed that number 6 car has leading the way. Joe Schaefer Jr., guy who has been so close so many times this season. He's had a really good year, but when you finish second so many times, I don't know if you feel the joy of what winning feels like, being overall having a good run. You don't feel complete without a checkered flag down, Jeff, does it?
No, you want that win more than anything else. You're tired of being the bridesmaid. You want to be the bride. And now it's looking like he's got one of the strongest cars out here. He's pulling away a little bit from Brandon Wilkinson. A 14.111 for Joe last lap. A 14.163 for Brandon. But the caution is back out. Let's see who that was wrapped up in it.
All right, yellow flag on the speedway for the 4th time here tonight, and it looks like the 31 car of Brad Carpenter did get involved in this one. Not sure if he had some help going around, but I do know he was certainly involved. As we will rewind back on through. A J-Max Strong Full Velocity Racing Network East. The replay, is that right? Cue the stick.
Well, yeah, we need
all right, 31 car around all by his selfie, which means he gets the Full Velocity Racing Network selfie stick. It happens when you spin around all by yourself and bring out a yellow just like that one. So on a count of 3, everybody give Brad Carpenter a big 1, 2, 3.
Hey!
That's how it works here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. The selfie stick, we're going to t-shirt that, we're going to market that. Thanks for playing along here. We'll be back here live with a restart on Full Velocity Racing Network, live on speed51.com. All right, lap late, but they are back and restarted. 46 laps of 150 on the board. Schaefer,
48.
Wilkinson, Jeffrey, Blanchard, Bodio, and Steve Rogers there making up our top 6s. Sorry, 46, call it 48 now. As Jeff McConey, my brilliant broadcast partner, corrects me. I'm going to tell you what, Jeff, one more lap from now, we're going to be 1/3 the way home. That's 33.3%.
Actually, it's about 33.3333% repeating. And I can give you a whole lesson on why .999 repeating is is actually equal to 1, mathematically speaking. But that's a conversation for the next caution. Right now, we are a third of the way through this race. Joe Schaefer Jr. isn't worried about math. He's worried about leading this race, and he's already pulled out half a second ahead of his teammate, Brandon Wilkinson. Keith Jeffrey sitting in third has got a few tenths over Ryan Blanchard, but you couldn't tell by looking at it because right now Blanchard is just half a car length off that back bumper of Keith Jeffrey. Now, he's fast enough to catch him. He's not fast enough to pass him yet. Keyword there being yet. We'll have to see how it goes over the course of this run.
Gotta think though, 4 early yellow flags for the first 50 laps. Tire wear at South Boston, it always comes into a key somewhere. 4 early yellow flags, you think these tires still gonna be pretty much relatively, maybe halfway through a run? They still sitting up and feeling good at this point?
At this point, I think your tires are still feeling good. The times that they are putting down are still pretty close to what they have been running from the beginning here. A 14.137 for Joe Schaefer Jr., a 14.251 for Keith Jeffrey, and a 14.175 for Brandon Wilkinson. These guys are all running very close to each other, so I don't think tire wear is too terrible here at the front. Otherwise, we could see a little more variance here from one car to the next, but they're all running really within a tenth of each other in race trim right now.
I was going to say, watching the 55 car of Teddy Hodgson, he has made his way from a top 10 starting spot. Teddy running in the 6th spot, trailing the race leader 2.8 seconds, but he is having a good rise up to the field, as is one Kyle O'Danick, the number 21. He started 22nd. He rides Curtly Knife there off turn 4.
Don't forget about Zach Murphy as well, 26th to 12th. Jonathan Pulio, 25th all the way up to 14th. We thought he was involved in an earlier wreck. He wasn't. 27th to 19th as well for Kenneth Bohm. He started at the tail of this field, and he's working his way up as well. There's a lot of drivers here that could have something on the long run. We haven't gotten a very long green flag run quite yet for these guys to show off. But right now, 59 laps into this event just about, these guys are starting to flex their muscles and show what they've got.
I'm going to tell you, I think one of the arguably fastest cars on the speedway right now is that number 21 car, Kyle O'Danick. He just flashed around Richard Allen, put Kyle now up to the 8th spot. He has run down a battle for 6th between Teddy Hodgson and PJ Sturgis. The 09 now trapped into the low side. It's going to let the 21 of O'Danick make a run up high. Maybe Kyle O'Danick be running 7th. They'll stay door-to-door for 7th over in turn 3.
Door-to-door battling here. That's the name of the game in South Boston. It's hard to complete a pass here. You can go side-by-side with someone for a long time, but Kyle O'Danick, yeah, he's been really showing his speed. Now he's going to be clear of PJ and diving it into the turn. Give that position now of 7th place to Kyle O'Danick. Now he's on the back bumper of Teddy Hodgson, who's also been working his way up through this field.
They've been both running really well, and I've been watching that 21 car. He's been making passes up high. I think Teddy saw that as he drove up high, mirror driving. PJ Sturgis just about hit the pit wall off of exit of 4. Not sure if he did or he didn't. That car got really, really close. Yeah. Oh, Gomer took him. Well, that was a good thing because I was in car and it was about to get ugly with the 091 car. PJ Sturgis looks like he may have fallen completely out of the race server here as we now lap around. Going to put 64 on the board. Oh, he's still going. Okay, he came back. I don't know if the car got damaged or not, but that didn't look very good.
No, it didn't, but he's running really well. Now he's side by side with O'Danick again. O'Danick trying to pull himself clear. Looks like he's got the spot, but yeah, you really can't fall asleep now. PJ really battled back well there, and he got to the inside of O'Danick. That allowed Hodgson to pull away by about half a second, 0.6 seconds. That gives him some breathing room, but right now the top 5 have really pulled away from the field. But Joe Schaefer Jr., man, a 1.3 second lead already over Brandon Wilkinson. Keith Jeffrey not too far behind either, but he's pulled away a little bit from Ryan Blanchard, who's got a little bit of room behind him from Dave Bodio as well.
That's that top 5. It's that battle back for 6. We've been kind of watching Teddy Hodgson, Kyle O'Danick, PJ Sturgis, Steven Rogers, Richard Allen, our top 10 as we approach halfway. And now the 5th yellow flag of our main event. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Team Hard Motorsports yellow number 5 on lap number 68. So we slow it on down once again. Take a look-see around the speedway and see what in the world happened out there to put us under our folks' current yellow flag here as we approach now 69 laps complete.
Might have been Gary Holbrook was involved with 29 as well.
29 of Zach Murphy. Yeah, he did get a piece over there, and we're going to go back and look, and I think Jack's already got it. 29 of Zach Murphy. Yeah, he did get a piece over there, and we're going to go back and look, and I think Jack's already got it. 29 of Zach Murphy. Yeah, he did get a piece over there, and we're going to go back and look, and I think Jack's already got it. 23 car, yep, 73 of Chris France getting into the back of a 29 and setting Zach for a little bit of a ride. Chris got in the corner a little bit deeper and just caught in the left rear enough to spin Zach Murphy around. It's a little bit of a bumper caught around. There's the story. Our 5th yellow flag of the night here, lap 69. Is it too early for these drivers to think of coming to pit road? Do they plan on coming to pit road for tires all night long, you think?
I think this is a case of follow the leader, do whatever the leader does, but actually maybe not. Maybe do the opposite. Joe Schaefer Jr., I think he stayed out, and everybody else came in. Jonathan Pulio stayed out, Zach Murphy, Kenneth Boehm, Glenn Pressel, but Dave Bodio got a really good stop there, it looks like. But, oh man, that's a bold strategy. Let's see how it goes.
And Joe Schaefer, the fastest driver in the South Boston Speedway here tonight, is going to stay out now with 70-plus lap older tires, the likes of Bodio on pit road. Saw Keith Jeffrey was down there, Brandon Wilkinson, Ryan Blanchard, Teddy Hodgson. Those guys all came in. How much has this race changed here now as we approach the second half of this one? 73 laps in. Do you think maybe Mr. Schaefer feeling a little bit of heat up front? Is that a missed opportunity, or are we just banking on another yellow flag here in a little while?
I think there's going to be more yellow flags, which could be Joe's saving grace. He just needs to wait for these tires to even out. It won't take too long here, I don't think, for everyone to be near the same pace again. But yeah, that's definitely worrying if you're Joe Schaefer Jr. You've got a couple cars. You got Jonathan Pulio, Kenneth Boehm behind you that'll act as a buffer for the other guys to get around because they also stayed out on old tires. But yeah, that's going to be very difficult for Joe Schaefer to maintain that lead now, I think.
I want to give a shout out here under the yellow flag as we approach halfway. 73 laps on the board. Our lap 90 award coming up here in just a little bit. 90 Creations there are going to give away our $10 to our lap 90 leader. And I believe the first week that we've done this award is going to be a new one here tonight. I believe Ty has taken all the awards in the last 3+ weeks we've done the lap 90 award. So we'll put the green flag back in the air. Let's get back to racing. Joe Schaefer, John Pulio, Kenneth Boehm, Dave Bodio, Steven Rogers, our top 5 as we exit turn 4.
Keith Jeffrey has fallen all the way back to 12th now. He's got a lot of work to do to get his way back up through the field, but he's back there with Blanchard, Wilkinson, Hodgson. A lot of drivers that were very strong and have now fallen a ways back, but Dave Bodio now up to second. He's on the inside of Jonathan Pulio fighting for second place, Now he's got second place locked down, and he's got his sights set on our leader, Joe Schaefer Jr. Going to try and take that lead away, but he's got about 3/4 of a second to overcome as we're halfway through the race, but the caution's out.
Caution is back on the speedway.
Wreck, still wrecking.
Oh no, big wreck off the exit of turn number 2, and this one's going to collect a whole lot of cars. They were racing hard, they got together, and who's all involved over there?
I believe that is Kenneth Boehm involved. He stayed out on old tires, the 21 and the 068 of Kenneth Boehm get together, and Boehm goes up the track. He spun around, and everybody there just sort of gets wrapped up in it, trying to they don't hit Kenneth, but they hit each other after they get around him, strangely enough.
Wreck? Avoiding the wreck. It's one way to do it here live tonight. We've seen a whole lot of everything here. Say that again? Oh, wrecking, avoiding the wreck. Oh, I make a living out of doing that on a Saturday night over at TDR. Yes, I absolutely do, and I can almost report there, Jack.
Wilkinson involved.
Oh no, not Brandon.
Oh wow. Hodgson, the 019, McKenzie, Keith Jeffrey narrowly avoided disaster. Literally came to a full stop. Wow.
They were wrecking even after the wreck all the way halfway through the corner. That's just amazing watching those cars just barreling off in there. Gary Holbrook almost got turned upside down. What is a brake pedal? It's usually that big one in the middle or on the left. I hear it's optional in race cars these days, Jeff.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot here on iRacing. People just look ahead of them and see a wreck and go, I wonder what it's like. Maybe I'll just give it a try, you know? It's just give it a quick try. Kids, don't do drugs. Don't do full throttle into a wreck. You know, just don't be that guy.
Looking at that guy right here, hand raised, happens to me all the time. Not intentional, but looks like we're going to call out for a double file restart as we're going to eclipse 80 laps here under the yellow flag. Joe Schaefer Jr. leading Dave Bodio. John Pulio, Kyle O'Danick, Steven Rogers scored our top 5 currently, with Ryan Blanchard, Brandon Wilkinson, Keith Jeffrey, Teddy Hodgson, and PJ Sturgis going to run out our top 10. The 091 car called Matt Everhart 11th, Zach Murphy 12th, Richard Allen 13th, Derek Trowbridge, and Chris France going to round out our top 15. 2 more cars on the lead lap. Glenn Pressel the third, and Christopher Hyatt as the green flag returns to the air. 81 laps now complete.
81 laps complete, and surprise, surprise, Joe Schaefer Jr. still in the lead, but here comes Dave Bodio now in second place, trying to run him down. He's got the teeth on the front of that car. It's an awesome-looking machine for Jim Beaver Esports. Squaring up, though, against the posse. How about Jonathan Pulio, though? He stayed out, and he's still running in third. He started in 25th. He's up to third. Kyle O'Danick, though, he didn't do it the easy way like Jonathan Pulio did and stay out on old tires to get all that track position. No. 22nd to 4th, O'Danick has raced his way all the way up. But Jonathan Pulio, he doesn't have an easy either. To be out there running on old tires and have the whole heat of the field behind you, yeah, that is not an easy task either. Dave Bodio in the wall.
Bodio was in the wall, and I was watching this wad of cars that'll become even bigger now with the checkup for the 16. I've been watching the 9 of Ryan Blanchard, the 89 of Steven Rogers, and right in the meat in that sandwich will be the 55 of Teddy Hodgson as they run their way up now. That's running back there 6th, 7th, and 8th as we hit turn number 3 and 4. 16 of Bodio had a little bit of an issue. Looks like he'll stay second, but you hope he didn't hurt the right front of that race car. Took a little bit of a brush to the wall. Don't think it was too terribly hard.
I don't think it was too hard. I don't think he knocked the toe out of it or anything, but that's not good. It shows that Dave Bodio might be a little bit nervous here, might be getting a little bit too excited. Now he's running back down up to Joe Schaefer. It's been a while since we've seen Dave Bodio win. I think he's hungry for a win tonight. He just has to keep a level head here, though, and not get ahead of himself.
Absolutely right. Got to be patient. Dave knows how to get that job done, and
into the wall again.
He's liking that wall. Making some love to the wall as that Jim Beaver Esports 16 car is. He's trying to make that track a little bit wider. 2 cars doing a hell of a job running side by side, racing for the 4th spot. That black number 9 of Ryan Blanchard to the inside of that white and red 21 of Kyle O'Danick. They've been side by side for 3 or 4 laps, and nobody giving an inch. It's a great race on the 4.
A lot of great races here all around the track, but the battle for the lead is starting to get a little bit closer. Dave Bodio is faster on corner entry. Seems like Joe Schaefer Jr. is quicker on corner exit, so these guys are polar opposites when it comes to how they're attacking this track. Dave Bodio now to the bottom, Joe Schaefer Jr. running the middle. You got to do what you got to do here if you're Joe Schaefer to maintain this lead. And Dave Bodio behind, he's got to get up to that back bumper. They've got about a second for Jonathan Pulio in third. He's now 3 wide going into turn 1, and he touches the wall. There goes O'Danick up into the wall.
O'Danick into the outside wall. Think he kept going. The right front's got to be injured on that car as it was a savage hit into the turn 1 wall. Got to thank our friends at 90 Creative. This week's lap 90 leader was the number 6 car of Joe Schaefer Jr. He started on the pole. He has led all 94 plus laps of this one, and now a gap between himself and Dave Bodio. This race going on back here for now third. Oh my goodness.
Dave Bodio really fighting this car, it looks like. He's struggling hard. I don't know if he's over driving or if the car just isn't rolling the way he needs it to, or a mixture of both, but he gets up into the wall there now, probably heavily damaged that car. That was a hard hit.
Did it again on a 4 as well. I'm not sure what the wall has done today, but he is certainly really upset with it and somehow holding on to a race car that has to be ill handling by now, trailing back 0.6 of a second to Joe Schaefer Jr. I'm looking back here, the racing for third. It's settled down for the time being between Ryan Blanchard third, Teddy Hodgson, Brandon Wilkinson. That's a race going on for the 4th spot. Let's go pick that one up as that 55 car, and now the 56 of Brandon. He looks to the low side. That's 2 Stafford vets right there racing for 4th over in turn 1.
Doing a great job of keeping it clean so far, though. Teddy Hodgson now coming out of it. He's in 4th place, but he's got Brandon Wilkinson right on that back bumper. Man, that is a great battle going on. Don't forget about Keith Jeffrey either, who now looks low on the 56, not going to be able to formulate a run. But Keith Jeffrey could easily throw his hat into the ring, but I think he's showing a little bit of patience here. We're almost down lap 100, but here we are. We are 2/3 of the way through this race now.
Yeah, that's 66.667. Or you go 6666 for a long time. Round that up to 7 somewhere. How am I doing, Professor?
I'd give you a 66.6667 so far.
Hey!
That's pretty good.
That's better than half my high school grades. I will take that all day long. Love that. That's a passing grade. That's a good, solid D, almost D+. We'll take that all day long.
Hey,
Call me a
D's
D.
get degrees.
That's right. D's get degrees, and they call me a dime a dozen announcer, too. So I guess I got that going for me as well. As I'm watching this good breaks going on back here between Wilkinson and Hodgson, 56 versus 55. That double 8 behind them. Keith Jeffrey, who's poised to reclaim the points lead tonight as the points leader Ty Majeski not with us here this evening this week. We hope to see Ty out there soon. think he'll be back in the Gator Outdoors Truck Series ride here next week as well. So looking very much forward to seeing Ty back in the real world, back on the racetrack with all these guys out there mixing it up. But seeing a good one here tonight live in South Boston. Now 104 laps will go complete. And the story here all night long has been this number 6 car of Joe Schaefer Jr. I'm telling you, it feels like it's his night, but is it his time to come to pit road? Because we have a late race yellow on lap number 105. Why are we out of the caution?
Get the selfie stick out. I believe Jonathan Julio just lost it. Oh, no, I think he did have help. I'm sorry. That was the 25 might have just barely touched him, I think.
Well, that's big material we need to know right there. Was there help? Was there not help?
There was net code. There was definitely contact that sent him around, but it was not the 25 hitting him. There was definitely net code involved there.
That's not no, that's net code involved. That's not a selfie. There was an assistant there on spinning the car out, so we'll keep the stick in the bag. We break it out too much, like we did at Martinsville a few weeks ago. Jack will break it, and those things aren't very cheap. You know, you want a good, high-quality selfie stick like we have here at the network. That's not quite a selfie, but either way, our 7th yellow flag of the main event on lap number 107. Let's look down toward pit road. Is it busy? Is the race leader going to come in? I don't think he is. Can't go 150 on one set of tires, can he?
I think he can. I think he's going to try it here.
I don't know if fuel will be. Fuel
well.
shouldn't be an issue. I would think tires is more the game here in South Boston. 75 miles shouldn't be too terribly long. So very interesting story developing here live tonight. Speed51.com and the Full Velocity Racing Network. Hope you're watching wherever you may be watching from. We're all over the place sprinkled out tonight. We're live on the Speed51.com website. We're live on the entire platform of the Full Velocity Racing Network. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch TV, as we do every single night. Good to go out there to all 4 ways of an audience. Hope you're all doing well wherever you're watching from. Appreciate you watching here. The SidsView.com Modify Series. Here, the EastWest Promotions 150. What do you got for me, Jack?
Jack Anderson wants us to hit him with the stick.
Jack Anderson wants to get hit with the stick.
He wants to give him a selfie stick.
Hit him with the stick. I don't know if we can do. We can't say no to the viewers, could we?
I'm gonna take the stick from you and I'm gonna hit you.
Should have did that to me on that 17th hole today as well. Still sulking on that one. We were golfing before we get on the airways. We're doing that a lot lately. We're gonna turn into FVG, and I'm telling you, I'm probably safer calling a golf match than I am actually golfing. That's that poor duck. I hope it wasn't the Geico duck or whatever, because whatever duck it is.
That's a gecko.
Well, whoever was on the Aflac, kill the duck. Well, today, I killed the duck. Let's knock out the rest of this race, though. 40 laps remain. We go back to green.
Oh, look at Ryan Blanchard there, getting really loose on the bottom. Holds onto it somehow. They're 4 wide. Oh, there goes Dave.
No!
That's never going to work in South Boston.
No, we call that on dirt it will work, but 5 wide works for about 5 feet. I would say 4 wide is going to work for about 3 inches here on a 4/10 mile like South Boston. It wipes out a whole bunch of the field in the top 10. I saw Teddy Hodgson get a piece of that one. Who else is in there that got wiped out? A whole lot of cars right around that bubble that just all got wadded.
Wow. The 091 was involved. Teddy Hodgson was involved, but Dave Bodio now back to 11th place for a single file restart now. Now he's in trouble.
I'm just watching that wreck again as Jack's got the J-Max Strong full velocity is the replay queued up, and I think the checkup all started. The 9 got wicked loose and kind of got them all doubled up. Bodio got a tap from Brandon, and then it was on from there. And that was that. I think that could have been a whole lot bigger than it ended up being. But wow, that was intense, I gotta say.
It could have been worse. You are absolutely right. You know, something we talked about earlier was the fact that 0.9999 repeating infinitely is actually mathematically equal to the number 1. Did you know that?
I did not. Now, can you tell me how you came out with that mathematical equation? I know 99999 rounded up, it will get 1, but does that ever truly round up somewhere in the equation?
It does not. So, to put it very, very simply, the mathematical equivalent of 1/3 is 0.333 repeating infinitely. They are equal. That's what it equals. So, right then, 3 times 1/3 is 1. I mean, 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 is equal to 1. That's the way it works. But 0.333 plus 0.333 plus 0.333 is 0.999. So since those two are mathematically equivalent, 0.333 repeating infinitely and 1/3, because they are exactly the same, 0.999 repeating forever is equal to the number 1. And you can prove it with the geometric series where the term A is 9/10 and the common ratio is 1/10, where R... Okay, I can send a link in chat. That can
Oh my goodness. My head hurts. Me too. Lost, my head hurts, a whole lot of math. But I'll tell you what, do you know that even that 0.000000, call it 1%, we'll shut a whole government down over. I'll leave that for a whole nother day and a whole nother topic.
There, I put a very interesting link in the Facebook chat. Enjoy it.
Oh
people.
my goodness. Let's go back to racing as we just get our heads blown here by the genius called Jeff McConey. Live tonight in the Full Velocity Racing Network. 118 laps now in the books. Joe Schaefer Jr. leading over Ryan Blanchard, Brandon Wilkinson, Teddy Hodgson, and PJ Sturgis having a really good night. His debut night here in the Sidsue.com Modified Series 091 Common Top 5. But the story here has been Joe Schaefer Jr. And our next time by, he will see 30 laps remaining in this one, 120 laps complete.
Are you following this camera guy? Because right now, Dave Bodio's on the move. He's already up to 10th, but he made a really bold move to get there. He's trying now to run down the 73, the 89, the 29, that whole gaggle of cars right there. Dave Bodio has definitely got the time to work his way up through the field here. He's got 30 laps to do it, and he's really got the car to get it done, we've seen.
I know how good of a driver Dave is. We've seen him win multiple times here before, plenty of times last season. 30 laps less now at South Boston. All the talent behind the wheel. I think the cars in front of him, Jeff, way, way too solid. We've got some great drivers that migrate to this league every Thursday night. I think a top 5 run not unfeasible, but going all the way up there to finish in the top 2 or 3, I think he's been a tall task for a guy with the genius of Dave Bodio behind the wheel. Big, big trip.
Only time will tell, but up towards the front, here comes Ryan Blanchard, trying to steal away the lead from the 6 car. That is a very close battle right there. You see Blanchard, he's got Wolfpack Motorsports written across the back bumper. He's now on the inside of that posse car of Joe Schaefer Jr. They are working very hard. They've got Brandon Wilkinson right behind. It's a great battle up here at the front. 3-way, Joe Schaefer Jr. up on the outside, but Blanchard just can't get a run going down low.
I believe the 9 car, that Wolfpack Motorsports, is a kind of an offshoot alliance to our friends at the Posse. So that potentially could be a 3-way Posse battle up front again, as they've been dominating all season long. Joe Schaefer Jr. holding off now the likes of Ryan Blanchard. Brandon Wilkinson's 56 car is there. That's a terrific race for second. Can Brandon make it happen up high? Him and Blanchard racing for the runner-up spot now out of 4.
And all that battling was a great sight for the man in 4th, Teddy Hodgson. He actually just smacked the wall and lost a little bit of time, but he's still within half a second of that 3rd place driver, Brandon Wilkinson. Don't sleep on him. Teddy Hodgson can still get up there and throw his hat in the ring. He's an independent. He's not with the Posse, but he is a really good driver here.
Tell you what, and I'm sure you've watching the Facebook Live chat. I see my old buddy Kyle Ricky is out there watching. It is cool to see his name in our chat for sure. Nothing like getting Jeff McConey math lesson. That is absolutely right. The guy's a friggin' genius. What can we say? I mean, we went to New England Tech, Kyle. He went to Purdue. I mean, it's not quite the same education that I guess we got years and years ago, but Jeff's still doing it now. And I'll tell you what, we look back here up front. Blanchard and Schaefer having a good race. Wilkinson's there running in third. A little bit of a gap back to Teddy Hodgson running in the fourth spot with PJ Sturgis. Keith Jeffrey keep trying to rebound here. Take advantage of what a night that Ty Majeski is not here. Maybe gain a couple of points, take the points so you get a gap between them. But Keith really having an off night. He's saddled back there in sixth. On a night, I got to believe he thought, hey, there's a chance.
He was certainly thinking that, but really not having the night he needed here. I mean, then again, we're saying that about a top 6 run. My goodness, how much can we really trash the guy for finishing top 6 on a track like this? But Zach Murphy behind him from 26th all the way to 7th now, having himself a fantastic run, working his way up. Seems like Dave Bodio's run has stalled out there. He's stuck back there in 9th. He's got a little bit of a gap to him up to Steven Rogers, but like you said, Joe Schaefer Jr. now, he's actually under fire from Ryan Blanchard, still trying to roll that inside.
I'll tell you what, it's an inferno up there racing for the lead as well as Blanchard's got that 9 car to the low side out of turn number 2, and he is trying to do all he can. But Joe Schaefer, he has been game to the challenge all night. That number 6 car, he is back to the 2-car length lead. This may open the door for Brandon Wilkinson. Can a guy like Brandon, who has won all there is to win in modified racing inside of iRacing, even back then in 2003, I go back and race with that guy. Is he laying in the weeds? Is Brandon Wilkinson just sitting back there and ready to steal the thunder from these two up front? Because we know he knows how to get the job done.
We certainly do, and he's just cruising. I believe tonight he's racing on Ty Majeski's rig, so maybe a little bit of magic there in that laptop and wheel bolted to the table. Maybe a little bit of magic resides in that setup because he's right now sitting in 3rd place. Could be biding his time here over the next 13 laps, now 12 laps when they reach the line left in this race in South Boston.
Guy who has really turned my head here tonight, and we've seen him over this season, the likes of one Teddy Hodgson with car number 55. Teddy has had a terrific night, by far and away best run of the season, currently running in the 4th spot. You know, we talk about him often, guy who's one of the defending SK Lights champion at the Stafford Motor Speedway. It is cool to see him taking to iRacing, running as competitive as he is, and in a series that, let's face it, some of the best that run the modifieds in iRacing, they all live here in the Cincy Series on a Thursday night.
The yellow flag is out. Matt Heverhart is now around on track, but you're absolutely right. Teddy Hodgson doing a very good job. Break out the self. No, don't break it out. He got into the back of Odanik when Odanik checked up, and he got some help going around. I got excited about the selfie stick, but we do not need it here. Matt Everhart goes around.
Tell you what, Jeff, you're a veteran of what we do here at the network now. I'm going to tell you what, when you're out there tomorrow night, Stafford, which I know you're out there, I know Kyle's out there watching, you know, I'm sure Barnes is out there somewhere as well. When you get out there to Stafford tomorrow night, you get a selfie, borrow the stick tomorrow night, bring that out there, and you say, this weird announcer guy I know from FDRN, you know, gave me this stick and to try it out, because that's patent material. No selfie stick on this one.
You know what, Kyle, if you are still out there watching, I think I might have to pull that out tomorrow if we see it. If that race isn't perfectly clean. The last time we ran the late models, if you'll recall, Kyle, there were actually no cautions whatsoever. It was a very clean race, not a single caution, and you cannot possibly change my mind on it. So we'll go from there, but if on the very small chance there is a caution tomorrow, which there's not going to be any, we might have to break out the selfie stick there for you, Phil.
All right, we'll be watching tomorrow night for sure. Absolutely, we'll be tuning in. I know we're live on the network tomorrow night. A special event being put on by our buddies over at Team VLR. We'll be on the dirt tomorrow night. Pro late models at Knoxville. That'll be a great time, a full server indeed. Believe we're going live 8:15 p.m. tomorrow night. So we'll be over there. Then, of course, check out our buddy Jeff later on tomorrow at the Stafford Motor Speedway Series as well. They'll be doing a good job, as they always do. Fun to watch them on Fridays. You're picking up a gig. We'll be busy tomorrow night as well, but we'll definitely be peeking in there as well as we get ready to rock and roll here. Now 144 laps ago on the scoreboard. 6 laps remain. Single file restart the call. Joe Schaefer Jr. leading Ryan Blanchard, Brandon Wilkinson, Teddy Hodgson, and PJ Starter is going to be our top 5. Looks like next time by, we're going back to racing. I thought it was this time.
Right now, we are going back green here. The lights just went out on the pace car. It's going to be 5 laps to go here for Joe Schaefer Jr. to defend this lead, pull the complete sweep, and come out of here the winner. Let's see if he's able to do it. He's on tires from lap 0, running all the way through, and he's got a really strong field behind him, though. Ryan Blanchard, Brandon Wilkinson, Teddy Hodgson, hot on that back bumper. Going to do everything they can to get around. A great jump for Joe Schaefer Jr. Let's see what he's got. 5 to go in South Boston.
5 trips around, 2 miles. Did that one up by myself, Jeff. You're proud of me. 2 miles left in this one here tonight. Can Joe Schaefer do it? He has led them all so far, making teammates proud, no doubt. Number 6 car going to lead Blanchard by 2 car lengths. So Ryan's been working that low side for the last 50 laps. Can he make it work? I'm not sure. Schaefer has been way, way too tough all night long. 147 laps go complete this time by.
Let's see if that inside line will work, or if Ryan Blanchard might have to get a little aggressive. The Nerf bars are mounted on these cars for a reason. Let's see how much they're going to have to use them here tonight. 2 laps to go in the line. Joe Schaefer gets a little bit loose there. He's driving that car with everything it's got. He's holding that outside, though, with 1 more lap to go when he crosses the line.
Absolutely right. This time through turns number 3 and 4, the white silk goes up in the air. 1 more trip around, and it is a battle. Joe Schaefer Jr. versus Ryan Blanchard. 6 car versus 9. Give it to Schaefer out of 2 and down the back straightaway. Into 3 and 4, he leaves the bottom lane open. Can Blanchard fill the spot? Gonna come just a tad bit short. It's gonna be Joe Schaefer Jr. picking up the win by .047. Oh my goodness. 47 thousandths of a second. Schaefer over Blanchard. Give Brandon Wilkinson 3rd. Teddy Hodgson 4th. PJ Sturgis, not a bad debut night. He gets a top 5 with Keith Jeffrey, Dave Bodio, Zach Murphy, Steven Rogers, and Chris France rounding it a top 10. What a terrific race that was.
Absolutely phenomenal run there at the end. Kyle O'Danick, after starting 22nd, comes home 11th. Jonathan Pulio finishes in 12th. Richard Allen in 13th. Glenn Pressel finishes 14th tonight. Derek Trowbridge in 15th. Christopher Hyatt, a good run in 16th. And then those were all the cars on the lead lap. Finishing 1 down was Matt Everhart in 17th and James DuPont in 18th. 3 laps down was Jay Perkins in 19th. And the rest of the cars here are DNFs. That was Brad Carpenter, who came home 20th.
Gary Holbrook will finish 21st, but Andrew McKenzie, Kenneth Boehm, Tyler Chadwick, Junior Harville, Rosemary Townsend, and I believe that's going to round them out. 26 cars took the green flag at the end of the night. Joe Schaefer Jr. goes 150 laps, but not by much. A big win here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. We'll talk to him and the rest of the crew here live next to the post-race show. We'll hop to Discord. We'll be right back here live on Speed51.com. All right, we are back here live, Speed51.com on the Full Velocity Racing Network, the SidsView.com Modified Series, EastWest Promotions 150 goes to tonight's big winner, Joe Schaefer Jr. He will win over Ryan Blanchard in tonight's 3rd place finisher with car number 56 is Brandon Wilkinson. I believe he is going to be down there trackside with our buddy, Jeff.
Brandon, it's Jeff up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, buddy.
There we go. Mr. Wilkinson, you had yourself a great run here tonight. I have to ask, is there a little bit of magic there in that time of jet ski rig that you got going on?
Yeah, the race was pretty good. It's like I said, it all happened so fast. So it's kind of really, it's hard to go back and kind of, know what you do differently next time. But yeah, Majesty's rig was pretty sporty. I actually ended up racing on Derek Krause's rig tonight because before they left for the Rattler, they had just moved his stuff in. So Krause has got a really nice motion sim rig, and it was the first time I've driven on anything like that. So it's pretty cool. We had a good run. We had a couple good runs with the super late model earlier, but I just figured out how to get Discord on my phone. So Kraus didn't really have his microphone. So yeah, I mean, we'll take it. We'll take a P3 any day. I mean, we worked really hard all week on this thing, and Mark Logan had this thing pretty spiffy tonight for sure, and it definitely showed.
Absolutely. It looks like it did a fantastic job out there for you. Who do you have to thank for a third place run here tonight?
Oh yeah, thing was unreal. We're pissing straight in the air about this one. Didn't really know if we were going to be able to race, so we're super excited. I got to thank all the boys at Wolfpack and Mark Logan for tuning on this thing all week. Like I said, I wasn't able to test because I flew to Charlotte last night. Majeski picked me up, and we're going to leave for the Rattler Saturday night after we go to Ace and work with somebody there. So yeah, got to thank all the boys back at the posse. Congrats to Joe on winning, and Ryan, who I kind of wish moved Joe for the win because I love my boy Ryan. But love my boy Joe. We'll take it. Another 1, 2, 3. Finally back on the podium. Feels good. All the guys on Epic Media, Rocket Performance, keeps this thing together. So we'll move on to next week and capitalize on everybody else's mistakes once again.
And that was a fantastic run there, and you sound like you've got a whole lot going on there. Just flew into Charlotte, so have fun, stay safe, stay healthy. Right now, though, in second place, Ryan Blanchard. Now, we just heard from Brandon Wilkinson that he wishes you had moved the leader, Joe Schaefer Jr. What are your thoughts on such a statement?
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to my own teammates, and I couldn't do it to my own friends. Joe, he made a bad decision of staying out, and he admitted to it. And I was gonna stay out with him too, but I knew I was gonna get flushed if I ended up staying out there with him. And everyone else that stayed out there on old tires got flushed or wrecked. And Bodio, he was up there with 2 tires, and I came up on him down the backstretch a little bit, which was my fault. It was like a Kyle Busch kind of thing there. That was my fault. And I turned up on him, and I almost got hooked in the wall, almost ended my night, and then he ended up getting junked at the end of it. I'm sorry to him for that. I would never wreck my teammate for the win. I would never do that. I was just talking to Joe with that actually. He got into it with a teammate a couple weeks ago in the race, and he said, "I'll remember that," and that's all that was going through my head when I was racing them for the lead there.
Well, it worked out well for you. How was the car over the course of the night there? The new tires and everything else seemed to, we thought up here it was going to be the right call to make, but Joe kind of proved that you didn't need them. So how was the car over the course of the night? How much did it change from where it was at the beginning?
Yeah, I think the big change there at the end was, I mean, Joe knew with old tires that he was going to be able to get a good enough drive off on the top, holding us guys on new tires off on the bottom. He knew he was going to get a good run up off, and that's what he was doing for the last 40 laps. And my heart was pounding out of my chest for the last 40 because he was pinching me so hard up off, and I had to keep burping the throttle, or I was getting sideways off the corner, and I had Wilkes behind me, and he was cutting me some breaks. He had the big picture in mind of the championship, and without Ty here, I think that moves him pretty much into the championship lead there, and because Keith finished 6th. So thanks to Wilkes and thanks to Joe for running me clean. I understand why Joe was running me so hard, and clearly you didn't need 4 tires. You just needed to maintain the top lane to win the race, and I think if it was anyone else, I might have moved him or something, but I can't do that to my own friend or teammate.
Well, there you go. Who do you have to thank for that second place run here tonight?
I really got to thank everyone at Epic Media, everyone at Wolfpack Motorsports. Mark Logan put a oh, sorry about that. He put a crap ton of effort into the setup this week, and I was really happy with the car tonight. We ended up making a setup before the session opened tonight for a hotter track, and thank God it ended up working out that way. We had a setup for a cold track, and it ended up being hot, so we almost got screwed over with that. And I'm really happy with the run tonight. I wish we could have come out on top, but I hope everyone that was watching had a great time watching. I would just like to thank Speed 51 for broadcasting. Sid's Viewed for everything they do for sponsoring this series, EastWest Promotions for even putting this show on, and that was a great run, and I'm happy me and Joe got to battle it out there at the end clean.
Absolutely, and it was a great battle to watch there. Congratulations on that second place run, but Phil, I think you've got our winner here, and that was a phenomenal race.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, as we get Joe Schaefer Jr. finally down here in the winner's circle, we call it BladeNode.com, Victory Lane. I'll tell you what, Joe, first thing, it pays to have some good teammates, man. I've got teammates I know that I'd race with. They would have probably lesser guys have dumped me to take me out of a win. It's going to feel really good to know a guy like yourself with a big ballsy call to make no tires to hold off a guy like Blanchard, who's got a ton of talent, but he could have used you up and he didn't. That's going to be really good to know these guys will run you as clean as they did.
I didn't mean for it to happen that way. I just know how the top line works at South Boston, and I felt really good about it. Spearman put me in a great car this week, and high side was strong, and I had a ton of forward drive. So once we got past halfway, figured we'd roll the dice and just try to control the high side. But I have a ton of respect for Blanchard. He could have ran me up the track. He could have bumped me. He could have pushed me. It was not. It was a special set of tires, but they still weren't that good at the end. He definitely could have taken advantage, and haven't spent a lot of time racing close with him, but earned my respect tonight, and I'm very happy for him.
Oh, and now talk about this one. You're down here in Victory Lane. The checkered flag is yours. Yeah, we're missing Majeski here tonight, but finally he gets out of the spotlight. He lets you have one. It's going to always feel good to win. We've talked about the year you've had, a very solid season. Does it feel almost semi-complete now that you have the win under your belt?
I was going to say it's never complete unless you can beat Ty, and was the bridesmaid 3 times this season, so I'm happy to get one. Despite Ty not being there, there's still some really strong cars. Blanchard and Wilkinson running behind me, Keith and fighting off Dave for a while there too. This race had its own challenges, and being on old tires, man, I feel good about this one.
You should certainly do so for sure. The fastest car in South Boston tonight. You won practice, you won qualifying, you win all 100. You lead all 150 laps here. This feels good, Joe Schaefer Jr. I'm going to give you the mic here one more time as our big winner. Salute the crowd out there watching and give a thank you out there to your great team and sponsors that make this race car go fast week in and week out. You guys do a hell of a job.
One more time, shout out to Drew Krybeck with Epic Media, all the guys at the Posse, and specifically Ty Spearman this week. This one's for him. He's put in a lot of work, and he was the one who pushed me to join this series and start racing. So thanks everybody in the series as well. And Kyle and you guys as well for running the broadcast.
Absolutely appreciate it. Joe Schaefer Jr., folks, today's big winner at the South Boston Speedway, taking down the win of the EastWest Promotions 150. Jeff McConey, one of the best races we have seen all season. 0.04 seconds, the interval margin of victory. That's unheard of. That was outstanding.
It really was a phenomenal run there, and I have to, again, give my props to Joe Schaefer Jr. We thought up here, man, there's no way he's going to stay out on old tires, and we thought he was going to be eaten right up. And the other drivers that did stay out really struggled. Jonathan Pulio, Kenneth Boehm really struggled there to maintain control of their cars. Joe, though, man, he was absolutely on top of his game. He knew what he had to do, which was hold the outside line. The newer tires couldn't make a run happen on the bottom. And so if he held that outside line and defended like he did tonight, he knew he would come out of here with the win. He was a very, very strong contender. That's why he started on the pole and stayed there and led the entire race. A clean sweep for Joe Schaefer Jr. Man, what a fantastic run. It was a close finish, but Joe had it locked down.
Did a great race. We'll see these guys back here live 2 weeks from tonight. We'll resume. We get a week off next week, so enjoy the off week. We'll be catching up with Jeff here in a couple of days from now. We'll take some time and we'll get some work in and have some fun. Thank you all for watching tonight. Thanks to the Speed 51 crew. Thanks to Kyle and Keith, all the gang over here, EastWest Promotions. Sid's G from the Vault. Got to thank Sid a lot. He does a lot for us, a lot for everybody. Also, thank you to 90 Creations, all of our great sponsors here that make up the Full Velocity Racing Network. For Jack True and Jeff McConey, my name is Phil Cass. We'll see you back here live next time on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing.
Sit. I'm watching, buddy. Keep an eye on me.